Princess J. Samuel, Chairman, Origin Tech Group, Nigeria. Today, Nigeria is faced with lack of convergence, both of purpose and basically the market. And basically, agri can't do much. The players and the stakeholders are not able to do much without government intervention. And this is largely because the market is not organized. There's no convergence, either from the production side and from the market side. And I think that's the biggest challenge currently. That's what other climes or other countries have that we don't have. Well, maybe I should talk about what has been the story of Nigeria's agriculture the last 40 years. Is really has been state-led. So every tractor purchase that you see online has likely been government. Fertilizer, government. So it has been intervention, one intervention to the other, without the value chain being properly linked. So you see all those gaps in the value chain. And that, I believe, has continued to create all kinds of disruption in the food system place, from production, logistics, transportation, processing. And we've had those cycles, in the last 30, 40 years in Nigeria. So there's not been consistent development and growth. And even on the skill and knowledge side, what I think can happen differently is where we move from the subsistence nature or the peasant nature of our agriculture to a more market-led systems where demand is organizing supply. And I think that's a big difference we can make. That's one thing that will really turn things around. And we've seen it work all over the world. Whatever that is in high demand, people go to produce it. They're able to borrow money for it. But that's when you organize production. For us at Origin, it's both a passion and a business. And for us, we believe agri need to be done by patriotic citizens who love their country. At the root of the development of every country all over the world, starting from Japan, you have Yamaha, Hyundai, and the rest of them, starting from they are producing water pumps for agriculture, automotive loom for cotton, and things like that. And then you can move up to Ford Motors, who was producing tractors. There's a direct correlation between developing agriculture from the grassroots and developing the people. It has this psychological effect that we believe, which has direct connection to discipline and things, and many things that you can connect it to. For us at Origin, we believe that it's a national goal, it's a call for us to be part of the development of agriculture from the point of view of getting the people busy and getting them to help create wealth for themselves and be able to turn things turn their land into wealth, which is what you have. And from production, primary production to processing, you can have small-scale industries in all our local areas. This is the part Origin has been playing. On the other hand, we are also helping to reorganize market because we've been part of the primary production, we've been part of processing, and we saw that all of this can't work without organizing the market. And then we are also working in this area. And thankfully, we've found some worthy partners in some state government like Lagos, and even the federal government to some extent. We are now moving in that direction. And by the way, everybody is coming to realization that agriculture is just the right thing to do. And I believe collaborating with state, federal, and other partners, we can help Nigeria become food sufficient and net exporters. Well, would I say we have succeeded? I can't completely say that, but I think there's a path to success now than before. Our path is not as broad as it used to be. There's quite some level of awareness of what to do, and there seems to be an agreement or a consensus that this is a path to go. I think our level of disagreement before now as to how to do it has reduced seriously in the last 20 years of monitoring agriculture in Nigeria and even around successive administration. And I believe with that understanding and knowledge, we are now reaching that critical juncture where we can unlock Nigerian agric and food system to create wealth for the people. Well, the agric is business. So if you ask what model of collaboration, it's as if agric is not the same thing everybody does. I mean, agric is part of the grassroots. It's innate, it's part of every human being. And there's no any other model of collaboration more than the law of demand and supply. People produce something because it's in demand, and farmers produce food because it's in demand. But I think the model of collaboration that will create better wealth would be the American model. We have elected to be a capitalist society, and I believe that agriculture is really is an enterprise that every home, every family in the rural area is engaged in doing. And because of that, it is clear that what a democratic capitalist society should do is to find a path to helping people or show them the path to make money and to grow their capital through agriculture. And I think that's a model that is done in the West, in France, in Germany, and everywhere. And that's a model that would work. That's a model that will indeed help us. The current model where we hand people fertilizer and things like that hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. I believe the model that will work is a part where we give people a production order. They are able to go out there and look for the funds, produce, because there is secured and guaranteed offtake for what they produced. Government policy is important, more so because government has a convening power. And I believe that Nigeria has actually sufficient policy. I can tell you, we don't have a policy challenge. We have a policy implementation challenge. And then we also we have a policy resilience challenge, where a policy is not allowed to mature. And before you know it, we've turned it on its head, and then we move to a new policy, and then it's not mature, you move to another one. So I think it's more of a demand for patience, a demand for understanding and maturity in implementing policy, and the resilience to implement policy to the latter. That's what it should be. I've not listed any partnership yet, but of course, if we are speaking to some of the works that we are doing currently with Lagos State and probably with other states in Nigeria, the direct beneficiary are the people, they are the market women, they are the youths, and every average Nigerian and every Nigerian who eats is a beneficiary. With this partnership, you can go to bed assured that the food you will eat tomorrow is wholesome, is hygienic, and is devoid of any safety and biosecurity issues that food currently is experiencing globally. I mean, food has become deep science, and I believe that food cannot be left to the vagaries of market forces and producers who are not as educated as they should be in the use of some agrochemicals and fertilizer and things like that. I believe this partnership would help to set Nigerian food system in the right direction and help us to grow the right food and create wealth for our people. Well, what will change? I think the first thing I will see change is how our food is packaged, transported, and stored. The second is data. I believe that we'll be able to have a lot of data that we can use. And thirdly, price will drop because waste will be eliminated. I believe that we should see a very sharp drop in the price of food. One, we're going to have organized supply. With organized supply, you will reduce shortages, and that can stabilize price. Two, would eliminate waste. And once you eliminate waste, you are sure that 50%, 40% of waste that we're experiencing can come to become better, a part profit and part reduction in price for consumers. And lastly, we're going to have organized transportation. With organized transportation, you are sure that you are not just going to invite a transporter who tells you it is 5 million to transport a 3 million naira goods from Kano to Lagos, and that makes it 8 million. With organized transportation, you can be sure that your price is the same. It's 2 million every time, except if there is a little difference in the price of transportation. Transportation is a major problem currently for food in the country. True transformation in the Nigerian agricultural space look like to me. I think it will be a day when farmers don't need to look for markets. It will be a day when a farmer is struggling to meet supply. He's working hard to ensure he can supply. It will be a day when the Nigerian farmer can buy a $1 million tractor. That will be a day for me. That will be where I'm looking forward to more of Nigerian farmers who are able to afford a $1 million tractor, 1 unit of tractor at $1 million. That will be a very fantastic, joyful day where the country has become a big exporter of food like soya beans, like maize, like yam, and other crops. For example, let me just add this. Recently, we saw that China, India, who are basically some of the largest producers of a lot of home appliances, electric cars, rocket fuel, and things like that, imports food in large quantity from Brazil. The largest percentage of chicken eaten in India is from Brazil. And we were asking why. Because Brazil produced chicken half the price India will produce it, and half the price China will produce it. So I look forward to a day where we are not just speaking about production, but efficient production and efficient supply.